Alright, it's time for the next installment. It's well overdue. So she's all finished up. She's got some paint needs to be done and a little bit on the inside still, but overall she's done. So let me back up, and there she is. As you can see, we got the green paint job that I talked about before. We have our latches to hold the top down on both sides. We have our 3 hooks for the support structure. Along the side here we have, oh, wrong side. We have a hook there, and then a hook there, and a hook back in there behind the tire. Got our levels back on. Got to paint this latch here, but this latch is to hold this door in place. And then we have these odd looking tubes on top. The tubes house the uprights that go down here on these hooks and connect to the hooks up top to support the bed. So I'll show you all that here in a little bit when I open it up for you. As you can see, my fiberglass top took the paint very nicely, so she looks good. I like the look of the tubes, so that kind of like bazookas on my green trailer. So I'll just take a quick walk around so you can see what it looks like, and then through the magic of YouTube, next time you see it, might do a little fast motion image of us raising it up, but we'll see what happens. It's a nice thing about being able to use YouTube, figure all that out as we go. She weighs about 700 pounds. So in the remodel, I did drop about 200 pounds of weight with the removal of the secondary bed, and then on the inside I used much thinner wood, and so that had a big impact on the overall weight between the two things. Alright, that's it for right this second. We're going to go right into a fast motion of setup. The main thing I wanted to try to figure out was how to not have those support poles inside the trailer, because they're bulky, they roll around, they have sharp edges on them, and I just didn't want them taking up space inside the trailer. So I came up with this couple of pieces of PVC with caps on either end, one with a screw cap to hold the pipes with. Worked out really well. I'm very pleased with that particular setup. The latches on the far side were a nice improvement over the previous setup, where I had to use tie downs attached to the frame to hold the top down. That was not very good at all. It worked, but it was cumbersome and not aesthetically pleasing, if you will. So having the latches attached to the far side holding the top down was a really nice improvement. Setting the tent up itself is really easy. This whole video in normal speed is 4 minutes long, and for the purpose of the video, I put it on double speed, so it's just a couple minutes long. I didn't want to bore you to death watching me set up a trailer, but it's pretty simple. It's a 2-pole tent. Just slide the poles through the sleeve, and off you go. You know, you need 2 people is nice when you're putting in the support poles, just because there's 3 poles there, and it's hard to get all 3 of them on the sleeve at the same, or on the hooks at the same time, which is why I had Q here with me for this video. But once you get to the tent set up, it's easy peasy. Just slide the poles through and you're done. I got the idea for the trailer from the actual Jeep off-road trailer that they sell. My wife and I saw one in San Diego. It was $10,000, and I thought, shoot, I'll just build that myself. So we did, and it's not quite as polished as the Jeep trailer is, but it'll do the job. Alright, so here we are, we're all set up. There's the tent. Give it a little walk around here. You can see what it looks like. There's the underneath. You see the 3 tubes hooked up and down, hooked up down there. There she is. For the tent itself, I just used a regular old tent, which posed a couple of problems, of course. Of course, we've got our latch, our zippers here, but I had to separate the tent in order to cut out the bottom. So I'm not much of a seamster, so I had to sew this zipper in, and it took several hours for me to figure out what the heck a back loop was and how to even sew it on there, but I got it on there. Alright, so now I've got to open it up and tied the door back so it's not flapping around while I show you the inside. So let's take a look inside. We've got our tile floor in here. Got a table here that comes up, and then I have a leg that attaches to it, but kind of give you an idea of what the table looks like there. It's not a big table, but it's big enough. Underneath the table I've got a little latch there, and the table just comes down and pops right onto it and holds on. Along the side I've got 1, 2, 3 light fixtures that are attached in. I have my cushions in. We talked about last time I showed you the trailer. Talked about the cushions. And over here we have the sleeping area. So if we go inside, I'll show you the electrical setup right now, which consists of a switch, which is in a covered box, so that I can not worry about something in cargo shifting and turning it on. And then I've got a 12-volt port right here. Eventually over here, which I haven't finished yet, will be a regular 110 port with wiring that runs to the electrical box with a inverter, but I don't have that quite yet. So I'll turn on the light switch real quick, show you the lights. There's one, and then here's the other side with the lights. They don't produce a gigantic amount of light, but it's sufficient for my needs as it applies to this trailer. These nice cushions were made by my sister-in-law, Shelly. Thank you, Shelly, for making the cushions. If we pull up the cushions, we have a fairly decent size cargo area here. It's just filled with odds and ends right now. I haven't packed the trailer yet, but I do have this fan as I live in Arizona. It's a 12-volt fan with a light on it that I'll use to plug into my 12-volt port over there. And then I've got my air pump there for the mattress, which is right here. It's a full-size mattress, and that full-size mattress fits perfectly on the sleeping area. The other compartment has all of my electrical in it. I've got my battery there, and then all of my wiring, which runs out of here and then over to the electrical area. Right now I'm standing up, so you can see the height within the trailer is right around 6'2", 6'3". I'm 6'3", and my head just barely touches the top. So here's the big sleeping area. And of course we have our window here so we can look out. I will do one more little bit. I'm going to set the bed up in here just so you get an idea of what it feels like. But this is it. Alright. Alright, and here it is with the bed on. So, just got the blow-up full mattress there. Should point out that underneath here I did put in some heavy-duty tarp. Just because there is plywood under here, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't get anything poked through to put a hole in the mattress. But as you can see, there's plenty of room here for 2 full-size pillows. And generally speaking, for a camping situation, if you've got enough room for a full-size pillow, then you've got enough for a person in that spot. So when we lay on the bed, we can look up and see the stars, or if we're having bad weather, then we can always put the rain fly over it and protect us that way. Another thing to point out, I guess, that on the outside, the way that this forms, it naturally falls over the rim of the trailer, creating a water sheet. And then I just put a little bit of weight in the edges here to hold it down in the wind. So, not too shabby. Well, I think that about covers it. If you have questions, post them up and I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. But this was the built from scratch tent and trailer. It's fully off-road capable. Will go anywhere my Jeep will go. On a 1 to 10 scale, I've taken this trailer in its old form on trails rating up to an 8, and in its current form it will do exactly what the old one did. So I have not changed any of the functionality of it as far as how it would handle in an off-road situation. So I think that about does it. Thanks.